All right, now that you know more about color theory than you ever thought you even wanted to, and a little bit about mantis shrimp, sorry for that long digression there, you're going to create your own color wheel. So this is our assignment for the week, or the assignment. You also have a quiz over color theory, but this is what you're producing. So you're going to create your own color wheel. So you can take this in really any direction. I'm going to show you a handful of examples and then set you free. If you've got questions about it, pop in during the open studio times. You're going to create a color wheel showing and demonstrating that you understand that use of primary, secondary, and tertiary colors. So I've got a couple examples here before I show you what were the requirements for this. Notice that all of these look and feel a little bit different, but they all have that same root in common, where they all have 12 spaces moving around roughly in a circle. And those colors are changing as we move through, whether we're using buildings, cubes, or flowers. So with this, you're going to create your own color wheel, and your project or your assignment is going to be to design a creative 12-step color wheel, and you're going to use 12 objects or designs arranged in a circular shape. Now you can do this in your sketchbook with colored pencils. You can do this with paint if you have. Really all you need are red, blue, and yellow, and you can mix those colors or layer those colors to create your other ones. So I want you to start by using your primary and secondary colors, and then I want you to create your own tertiary or intermediate colors. So if you have that like yellow-green Crayola colored pencil, throw it aside and make your own yellow-green for this project. The way you're going to do that is you're going to start with one of your colors, you're going to layer that down in your spot, and then you're going to come over it with the other, layer that on top. If you have more of your yellow than your green, then it's going to feel really like a nice smooth yellow green, and it's going to make all of those colors feel unified and feel connected and related. So you're going to use those to create your own color wheel. There is one other route that you can go with this if you want, and I'll show you that in a second here. But I want to show you a few painted, creative own individual color wheels. Student on the left there is using flowers. Student on the right is creating feathers. But we are still creating this with 12 spots moving around so that we have all of our primary, all of our secondary, and all of our intermediate colors. And we're starting to explore mixing colors and creating kind of unified color wheels throughout there. So we've got a couple, these are actually middle school examples, where we can see using 1-point perspective to create buildings moving up, and then having 12 spots for 12 different colors. So another route you can take this, if let's say you haven't managed to sneak a set of colored pencils in during the grocery run yet, you can do a found object color wheel, where you are taking objects that you have around your home and you're using those to create your 12-step color wheel. Notice that there is more than 12 objects here. If you're doing a found object color wheel, I recommend that you have probably in the ballpark of like 25 to 50 objects just to create that full spectrum sense, because the color wheel does exist on a spectrum as we move from one color to the next. So you can see those objects, we've got our primary colors visible, we've got our yellows, our blues, and our reds. And then between them, we've got our secondary colors of our greens, our purples, and our orange. And then things kind of laid out between that are crossing or kind of blurring that line. So I really like in this piece here how we've got this, like this fruit that's almost got an orangish tint to it, where this has a yellow-green. Down here we've got kind of that like red-orange pen moving us into the tomato, and then around through the other colors. So you can do a found object color wheel if that is something that strikes you as more engaging, and you're going to submit photos of that. I'd ask that you take 2 or 3 photos if you're going this route. So a couple more examples there of solid found object color wheels. Notice that the more objects that you have, the better it's going to be, whether you're collecting things from around the house or around the yard. And be intentional about how you're presenting these. These two are both probably the best. They're against a nice neutral background. Don't set them on like your bright blue carpet because that's going to wash out your colors elsewhere. So I want to show a couple more examples. These are painted student color wheels. 3 of the 4 were painted during school time. And then the top right one is actually one of my Art 1 students from when we were in quarantine in March of 2019 there. She painted those wiggle worms at home, but exploring primary colors, secondary colors, and tertiary colors. So I want you to really take this in a way that is interesting and engaging for you, and create something that you are enjoying or proud of.